State, and this is Auburn, Alabama, on a glorious day in the loveliest village on the plains. This is the Tigers welcome one of the biggest stories of the season, the Vanderbilt Commodores on SEC Network. That's the College Football Hall of Famer Matt Stinchcomb. I'm Taylor Zarzour. You'll see Ashley Stroline in just a minute. Auburn has moved the football about as well as anyone in college football this year, and they've had a stout defense to boot. But it's the turnovers that have hurt them all season. So last week, they turned around and handed it to one of the best tailbacks in college football, and Jarquez Hunter delivered.
Yeah, it's a safe way to maintain possession, right? Just hand it to one of your best players. Don't bother throwing it. And Jarquez Hunter delivered. Been on the team all season long. Has not really been able to get untracked. Went off versus Kentucky. A legit run defense in the Wildcats. Got pummeled by the Auburn rushing attack. Hugh Freeze finally committing to that ground game and using his workhorse back. They ran the ball 50 times. By far and away their most productive output on the ground. Opened up some of the RPO passing game and led Auburn to a much-needed conference win.
But here's the problem. They got to go up against this guy again. Diego Pavia last year beat Auburn when he was quarterbacking New Mexico State in this stadium. Now he's led Vandy to a 5-3 start.
Yeah, the Tiger Tamer. He's back here in Jordan-Hare again. And Diego Pavia, what makes him so dangerous is that he is a versatile threat. If a play breaks down, the scramble game can get you. A touchdown last week versus Texas. He's physical, will get downhill in the rushing attack, always a threat in short yardage, and an athlete. They'll roll him to the right, they'll roll him to the left. It's his ability to improvise that makes defenses so nervous when facing a Diego Pavia offense.
And he has him on the brink of postseason eligibility. For more on that, we go to the field in Ashley.
Yeah, Taylor and Stench, with a win today, Vandy becomes bowl eligible for the first time since 2018. I asked Diego Pavia about that possibility. He said, yeah, a bowl game is great. We want that for our fans, for our school, but we believe we're capable of more than that. We believe we can shake up the SEC, win out this season, and make it into the college football playoffs. Head coach Clark Lee told me Diego is the first one to say, I can't wait to help you win a championship. But he says he loves that this program has now become player-driven off of that type of energy and spirit.
Thank you, Ashley. This is the 45th meeting dating back to 1893. Auburn is 22-21-1 in this series. They did win last year in Nashville, and Auburn is 9-0 here. Vandy's never won in Auburn. They've won in this state against Auburn, but never in this stadium.
And Taylor, perhaps of note, Auburn won the toss. They took the football. They know that Vanderbilt will seek to try to play keep away in this game and try to limit possessions.
Brock Taylor kicks it over the head of Jay Crawford. And you nailed it, Stench. Typically, Auburn would play some defense, but they want to play keep away from the Commodores, and Peyton Thorne needs to keep possession of the football. In 44 career starts at Michigan State and at Auburn, he has 77 touchdown passes, but he also has 41 interceptions.
Yeah, he saw it last week, was 5 of his first 10 with an interception. They started running the football. He finished the game 15 of 16, much more efficient in the passing game.
How often does he give it to a tailback today? And there it is on the first play. Hunter, first down run for the Tigers. More than 15 on the first play for this man that burst out last week in Lexington.
How about a split backfield? You get motion opposite the way you want to attack on the run. Get that second level, the linebackers leaning towards the field, and then you get two pullers out in front of one of the best backs in the conference in number 27, Jarquez Hunter.
They had 14 runs last week in Lexington, over 10 yards. That one goes for 15 on the first play. A fake to Hunter. Thorne will roll out, beat Chase, throws. Contested football. It's caught on the sideline over there, but incomplete. Keandre Lambert-Smith in traffic. It's incomplete, 2nd and 10.
Just barely incomplete. This goes, watch Lambert-Smith He was out of bounds right before he made this catch. This is something that we'll seek to say all game long, where Hugh Freeze said he felt like Peyton Thorne operated better when he had that pass option tagged with some of these runs, saw the game cleanly.
Pistol set, Thorne, quick throw. He finds Simmons, and Malcolm, the freshman, who now has 26 catches on the year. That's one of the best freshman marks we've ever seen at Auburn. Makes the catch. It'll be third down. There is an injury on the field to DeRicky Wright in front of his sideline. DeRicky has been a terrific four-year player for the Commodores, 6 career interceptions.
He's in on that tackle, a difficult one at that. Malcolm Simmons, as you mentioned, an explosive playmaker among others, amongst the true freshman contributors. And Clark Lee recognizes, especially defensively, they will allow some easy access throws. Expect to see a lot of hitches, short routes because the coverage is off. And then the challenge is defensively, can you rally and make a tackle in space? Already Auburn demonstrating they will be moving the pocket as you see them working on DeRicky Wright. That is a big man at safety at 6'4", 230 pounds. Typically plays a big role in their run support as well. Watch him finish as he bounces his head off the turf. You wonder if that ended up being the issue, especially the way that they're kind of working on him.
Well, you hate to see that too for a guy that has had a great career as an all SEC level safety, especially since he's back in his home state from Gadsden, Alabama. His head coach Clark Lee is also his defensive coordinator. Clark is in charge of both of those things this year, now in his 4th year at his alma mater. And Wright will go into the 10. What a start for the Vanderbilt Commodores. 2-10 last year. Clark says everything has changed in the last 52 weeks since Auburn beat them in Nashville last year. Trying to get off the field on the first third down of the game. On a 3rd and 4, it's a toss. It goes to the corner, bouncing off defenders is Cobb, but Jeremiah won't get there. Great pursuit there by the Vandy defense, forcing a 4th down.
They were trying to see if they could get the defense to commit inside and then leak out onto the edge. Thorne with the pitch, and a great job coming up. Patterson was the first one there. Didn't get really any of the buy on the second level, those linebackers being unblocked, undoing that first 3rd down.
See Hugh Freeze frustrated with the fact that his team was not able to convert there. Oscar Chapman will punt for the first time. The Aussie has a 43-yard average. And that's Martell Height. He's one of the best in college football returning punts this year. No chance here. Vandy will start at its own 16-yard line for its first offensive possession. So Hugh Freeze takes the football after winning the coin toss, but only possesses it for 2 minutes. And now that Vanderbilt offense, which has been #1 in the Southeastern Conference in possessing the football in terms of time, brings Diego Pavia out to the field.
Yeah, one of the most efficient quarterbacks. When you take into account the passing touchdowns and the way that he has protected the football this year, a couple of those picks last week, one was a desperation, one was a deflection. Otherwise, he does a great job of converting 3rd downs and maintaining possession.
And Cedric Alexander is behind Pavia, wearing a knee brace today after getting banged up last week in the Texas game. It's a game-time decision, but able to play, and Ced goes ahead to the 20. It's a pickup of 4. It's interesting, Tim Beck, the offensive coordinator, was saying before the game to us, Stinch, we have to average 4.5 yards per carry. Only done that once this year. Alexander gets 4 right there.
That's an efficient run. And what Vanderbilt wants to do is to at least get it to 3rd and 3 or less. That is a great opening play.
Did you see what he just did too? He took the knee brace off. He was saying how he didn't want to play with it, and Alexander, after one play, says that's enough. On a 2nd and 6, Pavia keeps this time, and Diego is pursued after a 1-yard pickup. Keldrick Falk was the star in Lexington, and he makes the tackle there.
He is a handful. SEC Defensive Player of the Week last week. He did a great job. Watch him here. He skates, he kind of surfs down the line and does a great job of keeping his shoulders square so that he can come back out and make the play on Pavia.
Listen to Jordan-Hare Stadium roar at Vanderbilt on 3rd and 6. Pavia throws incomplete. Jaron Thompson put a hand on it. It was intended for Eli Stowers. Both teams go 3 and out.
Trying to get it to Stowers. Defense knows it. Physical off the line. They know coming into this game. We talked to DJ Durkin. He knows that I gotta have it type of play. 3rd downs, red zone. Vanderbilt's gonna try to get it to one of the best tight ends in Stowers. Really well defended by the Auburn defense.
Another Aussie, Jesse Murko to punt, almost got it blocked. It's a short kick. Scott lets it bounce, and it goes down at the 30. It's a 50-yard punt. Auburn back on offense in front of a sellout.
Save now with the early Black Friday sale at Target. Get 30% off select toys, 30% off holiday lights, and up to 50% off small appliances. Hurry, these deals end Saturday. Save more on gifts. Happier holidays from Target.
And Doug.
Whoa, Limu, we're in a parade! Everyone, customize and save hundreds on car insurance with Liberty Mutual. Customize and save! And then I wake up.
And you have the stream every night?
Yeah, every night.
I see.
Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
The bold flavor of Bush's Grillin' Beans is enough to amp up any game day. Duke.
Fine. We'll watch your thing.
Try our newest Grillin' Beans flavor with the sweet heat of Mike's Hot Honey.
SEC Network Football is presented by Allstate. You're in good hands. And in part by T-Mobile 5G home internet. Get internet how you want it.
That's the most ever in a regular season SEC game. You saw the Trey Mason, number 2 on that list, in Atlanta in the SEC championship game. One of the best performances we've ever seen by an Auburn Tiger on the ground. Senior from Philadelphia, Mississippi. College of Forestry, Wildlife, and Environment graduate. A true Auburn man who lives in offensive coordinator Derek Nick's office. Always looking to get better. On the first down, he hands it to Hunter, and Hunter will go ahead for 1. You know, his defense just gets him off of the field. They've been unfortunate on first possessions this season getting off the field. That's only the 2nd time they've forced a punt. Hugh Freeze loves the way his defense is played, but he is sick and tired of the turnovers that his offense has created this year. 3-5 start, but still believes there are better days ahead here on the Plains. Thorne, wide open receiver, incomplete. He had Luke Deal wide open into Vanderbilt territory.
Just overthrew Deal. He ends up getting a little bit of pressure as it comes upfield. You see Deal open up right in the middle of the field behind the linebacker level, right on the logo. Pressure in his face for Thorne, just overthrew it just a hair.
Instead, a 3rd and 8. Of course, Auburn did have a 15-yard run on their first play and then had to punt. Looking for their 2nd first down. Instead, Thorne is going down. It's Linus Zunk, a junior from Berlin, Germany. That will count for a sack. It's 2.5 for Linus this year.
He's able to evade pressure as Peyton Thorne. They brought it from the boundary. So you'll see a blitzer coming in. He feels it and pushes up late. And of course, Linus Zunk is just there to clean up. To push up in the pocket was Thorne. First down efficiency. Not a great first down play.
Another Chapman punt is a short kick. Fielded on the run at the 34, and height goes out of bounds. The Auburn bench says that he called for a fair catch. We'll see where the spot is when we come back.
Save now with the early Black Friday sale at Target. Get 30% off select toys, 30% off holiday lights, and up to 50% off small appliances. Hurry, these deals end Saturday. Save more on gifts. Happier holidays from Target.
And Doug.
Whoa, we moved. We're in a parade. Everyone, customize and save hundreds on car insurance with Liberty Mutual. Customize and save!
And then I wake up.
And you have the stream every night?
Yeah, every night.
I see.
Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
My truck wears Coopers because we promise our customers door-to-door service.
Pavia throws to the end zone. Touchdown, New Mexico State. Pressure comes. Thorne sees it, throws. Fairweather catch. Touchdown, Auburn.
He's that guy. I mean, he's the toughest matchup on the field.
Pavia to the corner of the end zone. Caught. Touchdown. Eli Stowers with the reception. First ever win for New Mexico State against the Southeastern Conference club.
The great Dave Neal on the call on SEC Network last year. Pavia 201 passing yards and 3 touchdowns in that victory. And you see there's 9 people that were in that stadium working for New Mexico State in some capacity that are here today now that are with Vanderbilt that Clark Lee went and got and brought to Nashville. First down for Pavia at his own 33-yard line. And he has Eli Stowers standing to his right. And he gives it to Eli, who's going the wrong way. DeMarcus Riddick was right with Eli on the tackle for loss.
We'll see a ton of split backfield sets anymore, that's for sure. Vanderbilt will give it to you. What they're trying to do is see if you can get Riddick to wide. Didn't do it. Saw Stowers on the give, a negative yardage play. First downs are pivotal for both of these offenses. Now already Auburn in a prime defensive position at 2nd and 10 plus.
On 2nd and 14, Pavia's facing pressure against his body, throws, and he puts it right in there at the 50 to Alexander out of the backfield. First down throw for 21 yards. He's been throwing against his body like that all year.
It's just a natural at it. He ended up this time, it's not designed for him to flush left, just had to. Now they'll do it on purpose. The touch that he had to put on that football, a knee braceless Alexander downfield.
That's right.
And just dropped it right in, rolling to his left like that.
And with Eugene Asante right in his face. Oh, they're going to take a look at this. I believe they're looking to see if there's targeting at the end of the play. Referee Kyle Olson just made an announcement in the stadium. Caleb Harris was over there in coverage on Alexander.
I gotta tell you, it looks like it meets most of the qualifications. Now we've seen it this season. It's a crown of the helmet. Looked like he had completed the catch at that point, became a runner. It's shortly after the catch is made. You see it, forcible contact at the head and neck area. So if they're gonna say that he was still defenseless in the process of the catch, if not, the question becomes, is it crown of the helmet?
Saw a couple of Georgia players that were ejected in the second half against Texas a couple weeks ago. They can't play in the first half today against Florida. Did Harris lower the head there, Matt? Did he lead with the helmet? That's a couple of things that they're looking at.
Yeah, and the other element being, you see it. It seems like he possesses the ball. Had he already become a runner at that point, or would he still be considered defenseless? At which point, if he's still defenseless, it's forcible contact at head or neck.
There is no targeting by number 18 of the defense. First down.
And I gotta say, I don't see a lowering of the head. Yeah, it tilts forward, but maybe not enough. And really, the contact wasn't that forcible. Now, we've seen less called for targeting this year, that's for sure. But I love the fact that we're going to keep playing football right here.
It's a big deal to have Harris still out there, the freshman from Bessemer. Alabama remains in the secondary for the Tigers after that first down throw. First down for Pavia today. Out to midfield. And another quick throw. This one goes to Hoskins. And Ritchie makes it past the 45 down near the 43. Hoskins has now eclipsed his previous career total in catches this season. He had 7 this year. He had 6 his entire career coming into the year.
Hoskins, another guy that they trust in the passing game. Really efficient first down play. It's second and playbook, so to speak. Don't adjust your television sets. That's a fullback lined up behind the left tackle. Gabe Fisher.
There's a couple of them in the game. 2 of them. Look at it. And there's all sorts of movement. Fisher and Adabi, both fullbacks were moving.
False start. Offense, number 58. 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
So you see that short motion just kind of chopping, and the right side, to me it looks like Castillo is probably late with the snap on that one. When you see an entire side of the offensive front move, it's usually the center a little late with a snap.
And good catch there by our director. Stephen Lasoya, 68, was the first one to move. There is no 58 out there, so instead of 2nd and 4, or 3, I guess, it's 2nd and 8. A.J. Newberry, next to Pavia, takes the toss. And A.J. gets inside the 45 where Thompson makes the tackle. It'll be 3rd down.
How about Pavia throwing his body in there to try to get a little bit more of a push? He's going to have to tack downhill more to make the defense commit an early pitch. Watch Pavia get in there. Defense has got him stood up. You don't see that a lot from quarterbacks. You just throw your body in there, push style.
I don't know if I'm Clark Lee if I want to see that. This guy has been the identity of Vanderbilt first 8 games. He's out there in an empty backfield to start this 3rd down. Throwing on 3rd and 5. Here comes the pressure. Lofts it up there, incomplete. Austin Keys waited for a second before he applied the pressure. He calls that incompletion.
Got upfield almost immediately. So you see Pavia off the play action, and nobody really accounting for Keys off of the edge. One of the things that the quarterback for Vanderbilt, Pavia, does is he doesn't get a lot of negative yardage plays. Does a great job of getting out of sacks, either throwing the football away or scrambling out.
What did DJ Durkin, the defensive coordinator for Auburn, tell us? Keep him in the cage. Don't let him out of the hashes, and they're able to do that here. Another punt that almost got blocked. Mirko facing pressure, but a great punt from Jesse that'll be down by Vandy inside the 2 at the 1. Auburn is backed up. No score on the Plains.
Save now with the early Black Friday sale at Target. Get 30% off select toys, 30% off holiday lights, and up to 50% off small appliances. Hurry, these deals end Saturday. Save more on gifts. Happier holidays from Target.
Liberty Mutual customized my car insurance, so I saved hundreds. With the money I saved, I thought I'd get a wax figure of myself. Cool, right? Look at the craftsmanship. I mean, I even got my nostrils right. It's just nice to know, years after I'm gone, This guy will be standing the test of time. He's melting. Oh, jeez. No. Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
The bold flavor of Bush's Grillin' Beans is enough to amp up any game day. Duke.
Fine. We'll watch your thing.
Try our newest Grillin' Beans flavor with the sweet heat of Mike's Hot Honey.
After us, our SEC Network football continues at 4:15. Mississippi State hosts UMass, and we cap the night with the 120th border battle between Kentucky and number 7 Tennessee at 7:45. Both games are also available on the ESPN app, so you can watch anywhere. Matt Stinchcomb, have you heard the scary version of Rocky Top?
Scary version?
Yes.
Every version when I was a player was scary version.
They'll be playing it tonight on SEC Network, wearing all black in their Halloween fit. Auburn at the 1. Thorne throws, and a good play to Cam Coleman breaking a tackle, and you love to see that extra effort from the freshman from nearby Phoenix City.
Well, that's the big challenge for Vanderbilt in this game. We're going to see those opportunities repeatedly. Can you rally to the tackle? And Cam Coleman, the type of talent, that is the deep threat, number 8. He will take the top off of defense, quite literally. If he gets loose in the open field, that could be all she wrote.
It is a pickup of 9. But some breathing room now for this Auburn offense to go to the ground, and Hunter moves the sticks. Jarquez gets up to the 14-yard line. Came into the game needing 137 yards for 1,000. Certainly one of the better backs we've seen in Auburn history, and boy, there have been plenty of them. There's several in the stadium today, including Ronnie Brown and his undefeated 04 team that'll be honored here in just a little while.
There's a lot of rushing yards walking around on the field.
Fresh set of downs for Thorne at the 14. So much time, throws wide open into a crosser. Lambert Smith is down to his own 42.
They want to take a shot to Cam Coleman, the left side of the formation, but that pulls the safety deep, and on the crosser, Lambert Smith, the second window.
Quick run to Hunter, and Hunter moves forward up to the 45. Keandre Lambert-Smith has been as impressive as Auburn as he was at Penn State, and he was the go-to guy for the Nittany Lions. 126 career catches there, already with 31 this season after making the move down to the Plains.
By far the most targeted receiver in the passing game for Auburn, and for obvious reasons. You can see his 7 touchdowns, tied for the most here in the conference this season so far.
Thorne again, time, throws it, it's a wide throw. He had Hunter just sitting down right there open, but he missed him.
Couldn't tell if he was expecting Hunter to continue. He's just kind of settling down the soft spot right over the ball. Hunter just could not corral that throw. It's a couple now early, where we saw earlier Thorne, a little bit of pressure right at his feet, something that Kentucky emphasized, trying to get pressure in his face in an errant throw.
Had an interesting conversation yesterday with Coach Freeze about some of the misses this year, if that's the responsibility of the receiver or if it's Thorne. On this 3rd and 8, there's an underneath ball to Rivaldo Fairweather, and the big tight end is short of the first down by a yard or so. Let's see what Hugh Freeze does. He turns around and tells his punting team to get onto the field.
Yeah, frustration for sure. You know, the challenge, you start the drive off well and you're in your backed up offense. On the 2-yard line, you get that nice play on first down to Cam Coleman. You see the miss to Jarquez Hunter, and they just can't get off schedule, can't burn it down.
0 for 3 on 3rd down to start the game. Chapman's punt takes a Vandy bounce, and it's down at the 19. One of the reasons why Coach Freeze is punting is because his defense has looked terrific.
When you think about it, they've done a great job of finding a way to get a stop. We mentioned only the second time this season where they denied an opening possession score. They've been able to create some negative yardage plays early. Been able to contain Pavia largely in this scramble game. Obviously aided by that procedure penalty and that last possession. And DJ Durkin, so far his unit doing its job. They haven't conceded a ton of field position despite the excellent punt by Vanderbilt.
Says Vandy's trying to play keep away, always with a different personnel group with different looking formations that keeps analysts in the building all night long trying to figure out how to defend it. Pavia moves the pocket wide open. Receiver past the 50. That's Junior Sherrill, who got lost in the Auburn secondary.
They brought motion all the way across the formation. Obviously, protection holds up. We talked about Pavia's skill throwing on the run. Got a middle field safety and a ton of ground to cover. Sherrill, as you mentioned, just kind of got lost in the coverage down in the secondary. An explosive play for the Vandy offense.
31 yards after the Nashvillian had his best game last week against Texas. Pavia takes it himself and takes on Tigers at their 48-yard line.
And this option concepts. We talked to DJ Durkin of Auburn, and how challenging is it? You know, you mentioned the personnel groupings. We just talked about a couple of fullbacks in the game. A lot of 12 personnel, meaning 2 tight ends and a back. 30 personnel, 3 backs in the backfield, no tight ends. They junk you up. So many different personnel groupings, and then they add the option element.
You were a 30 personnel guy, weren't you? And you loved it.
Big fan.
A.J. Newberry next to Pavia on this 2nd and 8. Diego drifts back, and he's got Stowers first down near the Auburn 30.
And then they hit you with the play action. Whenever you pull an offensive lineman, and that time they pull Stephen Hubbard. They love to pull number 54. You fake it on the fly sweep. Protection actually breaks down, and as we've talked about it, Pavia is just a collected, poised quarterback. Even when pressure, right up the middle, delivered a strike to Stowers.
And you see it leads the SEC. He's now over 500 after that 16-yard completion. Fresh set of downs. The Auburn 32. Throws down the field, one-on-one ball, incomplete, looking for Sherrill. Jay Crawford running with him.
Get aggressive plus side. We just hit a play action. See if you can't throw a dagger. Great job by Crawford. We saw him last week. One of the better young talents in this Auburn secondary. Guys that have been forced into service. The 23 for the Tigers has stepped up big. So you miss empty play rather on first down. That's a win for the Auburn defense. You hold up on second to force 3rd and long.
Auburn's bringing pressure. Pavia goes right at it and runs inside the 30 down near the 27 where Dorian Mawusi, the transfer from Duke, makes the tackle. It'll be 3rd down for this Vandy offense that's number 1 in the SEC and one of the top 10 3rd down converting offenses in all of college football.
It's just outside their comfort zone. Getting that mid-range, if they can get it to 3 or less, they're almost automatic. This is his favorite target, that's Stowers.
Looking that way, throwing down the field. Touchdown, A.J. Newberry.
The pass number 23, A.J. Newberry for the Vanderbilt touchdown. The touchdown pass, 28 yards.
Newberry with his 2nd receiving touchdown of the season, and Vandy scores first.
Number 88, Mark Taylor, to attempt the point after. Number 29, Jesse Marco to hold.
Brock Taylor, the sophomore from Knoxville, makes it 7-0. Vandy's been terrific all season on third down. They were 0 for 2 on their first 2 third downs. They get it here and score 6.
Now, I misidentified it. Wasn't Stowers to the right side, but they're in a shallow cross. You're thinking a possession throw, and instead, you throw it to your back, downfield, and once again, Pavia, incredibly accurate. We've seen it in this game. Number 2 for Vanderbilt has been dialed in. And on this drive, it was the passing game that got going.
So Vandy strikes first in the game, and Pavia scores or throws his 14th touchdown of the season. Vanderbilt looking to try to get to 6-3 on the season. Coming into the game, Stinch, Vanderbilt was plus 74 in scoring margin. Think about this. Like all those Vandy teams that have struggled against SEC competition, they haven't had a positive scoring margin like this since 1955. This is no smoke and mirrors. This is a stout, legitimate offense.
One that's been really consistent all season long.
Kick does go out of bounds by Taylor. Man, Mr. Pavia has a lot to do with it.
Out of bounds, kicking team. The ball is placed on the 35-yard line. First down.
Pavia goes over to the iPad to take a look at that 81-yard touchdown scoring drive. Cedric Alexander right next to him watching the film, get that instant information. Well, how do you answer if you're Auburn here?
Oh, first things first, you got to find a way to convert these third downs. You think about what Vanderbilt's doing a good job of is getting to that third. The first down they got was on an early down. Get that quick conversion, and then they find a way to stagnate that offense enough to get to third. Auburn has been very inefficient at third and medium range throughout the season.
Carry. It is Cobb, first down run past the 50, stays in bounds, and he's down inside the 40.
They've run that same play about 3 times. The first play of the game, they ran it again, the opening possession. This time, great job of just breaking tackles by Cobb. And right through the would-be tackle of C.J. Taylor, maybe Vanderbilt's best defender.
And we talk so much about Jarquez Hunter, rightfully so. Auburn's got 3 guys they use in every game. Damari Alston and that man, Jeremiah Cobb. A 27-yard run on that play down inside the Vanderbilt 40. Cobb again with flags on the field.
Cobb on carry. There's a flag on the play.
Holding. Offense, number 72. 10-yard penalty. That penalty will be enforced at the beginning of the second quarter. That is the end of the first quarter.
Vanderbilt scores first against Hugh Freeze's Auburn Tigers, but Auburn is on the march here at Jordan-Hare Stadium on a beautiful Saturday in early November.
Save now with the early Black Friday sale at Target. Get 30% off select toys, 30% off holiday lights, and up to 50% off small appliances. Hurry, these deals end Saturday. Save more on gifts. Happier holidays from Target.
Liberty Mutual customized my car insurance, so I saved hundreds. With the money I saved, I thought I'd get a wax figure of myself. Cool, right? Look at the craftsmanship. I mean, I even got my nostrils right. It's just nice to know, years after I'm gone, this guy will be standing the test of time. He's melting. Oh, geez. No.
Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
The bold flavor of Bush's Grillin' Beans is enough to amp up any game day. Duke.
Fine. We'll watch your thing.
Try our newest Grillin' Beans flavor with the sweet heat of Mike's Hot Honey.
Coach Lee, your offense able to find some momentum as that quarter closed out. What was the message to get them going?
Well, I don't know that there's a message this early. This is an identity game for us, and so, this is a good defense we're playing. I think it's about being consistent and not trying to deviate early in the plan. Obviously, we were able to get the ball down the field some, and that opens up opportunities for scores. So credit to the offense. We need a response here defensively.
All right, Coach, thanks.
Thank you.
Thorne, while the pocket collapses, he goes down as well. Back at the 49 on the second play, or the first play of the second quarter, Miles Capers. He's had a terrific year, SEC Defensive Lineman of the Week in the win against Alabama on the stop.
A holding penalty pushing you back. You see Vanderbilt scrambling to get a sub.
Now second down, throw behind the receiver. Nice catch by Robert Lewis, who's now made one in 30 straight games. And he's back near the original line of scrimmage on this third down.
Yeah, the tempo catching Vanderbilt on their heels that time. You see Vandy, Auburn got over the football quickly. Vanderbilt was trying to send a sub package in before that completion.
Trying to convert their first third down of the game. Thorne under pressure. Takes on defenders on the Vanderbilt sideline, out of bounds inside the 35. Martell Height forced him out. Is this 4-down territory here?
Well, you consider that they are without McPherson, and it's been an adventure. It very much looks as if Auburn will be going for it here on fourth down.
They're 5 of 13 on fourth down this year.
You can see Vanderbilt, they were anticipating a run. You see a shift to block up the inside gaps with their defensive line.
On 4th and 3, throw incomplete. Receiver fell down. He was looking for Lambert Smith. It's a turnover on downs.
Well, the tempo got him there, got that pass to Lewis. The Vanderbilt defense once again finding a way to get the ball back to their own.
Save now with the early Black Friday sale at Target. Get 30% off select toys, 30% off holiday lights, and up to 50% off small appliances. Hurry, these deals end Saturday. Save more on gifts. Happier holidays from Target.
Let's go to our next segment, Fairest Calls, inspired by Geico's fair and fast 24/7 claim service.
Do we have to do the Geico stuff on him here?
Yep, we do. Let's play the clip.
Holding, number 53, 10-yard penalty.
This literally happens every game. Can we just skip to the action?
Nope, nothing but fair and fast claims, just like Geico. Here's the next clip.
But I don't want to play the clip.
Pass interference, number 34.
Wow, doesn't get any fairer than this, boys.
For savings and service, get more with Geico.
Being the best takes hard work. That's why Old Dominion Freight Line, the #1 national LTL carrier for quality, works hard to be the best in the game and is proud to support those striving to be the best in theirs.
13-0, 20 years ago. Senator Tommy Tuberville and the Auburn Tigers, led by Jason Campbell, Cadillac Williams, Ronnie Brown, 11 guys that would play in the National Football League. Defensive coordinator Gene Chizik.
There he is.
They're all out there today, 20 years later. The only thing that I liked about Auburn not making the national championship is that it led to an expanded playoff. But make no mistake, they should have been in the national championship.
No doubt.
Diego Pavia throws downfield, one-on-one ball, and both players fell down. He was looking for Skinner, who was covered up by Kay and Lee. So they go unscathed throughout the SEC schedule. Then they win the Sugar Bowl, end up #2 after USC beat Oklahoma. And this is just one broadcaster's opinion. Auburn was better than Oklahoma. I don't know if Auburn would have beaten USC, but they were better than Oklahoma, and they would have given them a better game.
Yeah, I don't think you have to be a broadcaster. If you just had eyeballs and a television set, you would have known that year.
Commodores have taken a lot of downfield shots on Auburn early in this game. 2nd and 10, Pavia hands it to Gillespie, and Chase gets past the 35 up near the 36. Clearly Cedric Alexander is on a pitch count here, Stench. We haven't seen much of him dealing with that leg injury, so more of Gillespie and already a touchdown throw to the other back, Newberry.
It's a great point. You have to think that what Vanderbilt typically wants to do, they want to run the football, not just at the running back position, but primarily it's typically with Alexander. But as you mentioned, that knee clearly ailing him. Did not have a knee brace on it any longer, but did to start the game.
And now they have Monty Jones in on this 3rd down. Down the field he goes. Incomplete. Great coverage by Crawford as Quincy Skinner was covered up, 4th down.
Yeah, a couple of throws on that possession by Vanderbilt. The first ball is just kind of a YOLO ball. Hope it works out. Heave it downfield, see if you can get them to panic. Crawford in excellent position. Once again, the true freshman climbing the ladder, gets his hands up and through to get that pass broken up.
Another Parkview player that went to Auburn. Jenny Stinchcomb did that. She's in the building today.
Another Tiger from Parkview High School.
Jesse Mirko will punt it to Keontae Scott. It's a good one. Over Keontae's head, though, into the end zone. 64-yard punt. He wishes it were 63. 7-0 Vandy.
Save now with the early Black Friday sale at Target. Get 30% off select toys, 30% off holiday lights, and up to 50% off small appliances. Hurry, these deals end Saturday. Save more on gifts. Happier holidays from Target.
Liberty Mutual customized my car insurance, so I saved hundreds. With the money I saved, I thought I'd get a wax figure of myself. Cool, right? Look at the craftsmanship. I mean, I even got my nostrils right. It's just nice to know, years after I'm gone, this guy will be standing the test at... Ah! He's melting! Oh, jeez. No!
Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
My truck wears Coopers because we promise our customers door-to-door service.
Born in Philadelphia, Mississippi, Jarquez Hunter was built to carry the rock. And in the Deep South, you can't talk running backs without talking War Eagle. Here's Ronnie Brown. All types of transportation are welcome, from a tank at Bixby to a Cadillac Williams, as long as it's on the ground. And nobody knows running backs like Auburn knows running backs. Mr. Heisman Trophy winner Bo Jackson. Jarquez Hunter, the latest in that long line. Terrific career he's had, and he has burst out in this senior season. SEC leader with over 7 yards per carry. He does start this possession on the sideline, though, as Auburn starts at its own 20. Cobb and Alston, those other two tailbacks, are back there with Thorne. This carry goes to Damari. And the junior from Atlanta picks up 5.
The first downs have actually been pretty good for Auburn in this game. It's 2nd down and able to get it to 3rd and manageable. You know, the run game, the stats kind of lie, but 89 of the 119 yards they've generated have come on that first down. Crank up these series, but then they're stagnating on this down, 2nd down, where there's just been little to no production.
Sideline throw, nice catch by Cobb, and able to stay upright to move the chains. Great effort by the back.
And what a block by Keandre Lambert-Smith. Gets there just in time. He faked it downhill, spit it out on the perimeter, and Lambert Smith gets a key block. Otherwise, that's a no gain completion.
5 on first, 5 on second. And now the new line of scrimmage is the 30. And again, it's Austin on a similar play. This time it yields more than 7, almost 8.
Both offenses given some split backfield sets, allows for a lot of ball handling, ball fakes. That time, it was the fake alone that blocked the second level defender, opened it up right down the middle for the Auburn offensive front. We talk about the first down efficiency. Once again, great job on first down. This is second down in playbook near midfield.
And on the 2nd and 2, Thorne takes it out of Austin's belly, and he's just short of the first, where Brian Longwell makes another tackle. Longwell, 11 tackles against Texas last week. Well, Auburn's 0 for 4, Stench, on third down, but this is 3rd and less than 1.
We've seen option look on third down. We've seen them get stymied, go for it on a 4th down and plus territory. I've not seen Hunter in the backfield.
He is there
He
now.
is now for the first third down attempt.
Looks like he's going to take the snap. Wildcat. Watch that, Ronnie. Ronnie Brown's over on the sideline watching this. I don't know if he got to the 40 or not.
It did not look like it when they're going to mark him short on that Wildcat run. You see the line judge when he came running in. See a little bit that one hesitation. A great job by Zunk coming around the backside.
Offense stays out there. Need a couple of inches on this 4th down. Give it to Hunter. That's a first down.
Time just enough push. Inside of that 1 yard, he just plunged right ahead.
Down to Ashley.
Well, I had a chance to catch up with Jarquez Hunter ahead of the game. I asked him, what do you do to prepare? He said on a game day like this, wake up at 6 in the morning, go out to his balcony, read his daily devotional, scripture, pray, and then he sits there and visualizes just what he can do when it comes to the game time.
Man that is so committed to his faith and to catching catfish. That ball is deflected at the line of scrimmage. Thorne, lucky it goes to the ground. It is 2nd and 10. I would be interested if you and I had a field assignment to go catfishing, I guess, fishing for catfish with Jarquez Hunter.
With what though? With a rod and reel? Because I'm in. If not, if it's noodling, forget it.
That's what he does.
I know, it's lunacy. Down there sticking your arm down a catfish's throat. No, sir. No thanks. Just like he did on that 3rd down, slamming it in the middle of the defense.
2nd and 10. Hunter goes straight ahead. By the way, there are members of the Stinchcomb family that Stinch has decided to not fish with either. Back down to Ashley.
All right, come on, Taylor and Stench. I know you guys want to get out there and go noodling with, maybe we can talk Jarquez into taking you. He explained that to me. We got some good visuals from his Instagram. I said, what is going on? He said this summer, along with his teammate Jeremiah Cobb, they decided to go noodling. It was a team bonding experience, but basically, you guys said it. You put your hand down there, you wait for the catfish to bite, and then you snatch it out of the water. And as you can see, Jarquez did a pretty good job the day that they went. But he said, you know what, it's also a great part of building that team chemistry.
On a 3rd and 8, Hunter grows straight ahead and tries to dive for it, and he gets up to the 49-yard line. They will be short of this first down. There's a Vanderbilt player a little slow to get up.
And they're going to have to sub in if they go for it, which it looks like they are. Tate Johnson's going to have to come in for Braden Joyner. His helmet popped off on that pull. They ran a little counter play, pulled the backside guard and tied in.
How about this 4th and 2, Stench, at Auburn's own 49 midway through the 2nd quarter, trying to get something going. They are running it. It's Simmons, first down, turns the corner and stays in bounds down near the 30.
And that was easy. And you could see Thorne directing traffic. You could see exactly where he wanted Malcolm Simmons to split out. Motioned him all the way across the formation. He said, hey, ho, ho. look, I want you to be tight so that you got room to run out to the flat off of that soft cushion. Really well executed that time on 4th down.
21 yards for the freshman Benjamin Russell, high school about 45 minutes from here in Montgomery. And there's another throw out of the backfield. What a catch by Fairweather. Rivaldo inside the 2, dives, touchdown. Wow.
Well, repeatedly, Auburn's been willing to roll the dice. Fairweather, great catch. Right off of what is an immaculate field here today. And look at the effort after the catch. We talked about it in this game. Open field tackling, the run after the catch was going to be key. You get the 4th down conversion, then you're able to get it to a playmaker, and your tight end Fairweather, he did most of the work after that one.
You did reference Alex McPherson not able to kick today due to that stomach issue that he's dealing with. This is Towns Magoo, and it's tied at 7. The coverage of Eli Stowers is necessary. He's one of the best SECs in college football, but Auburn's got one too. How about this from Rivaldo Fairweather after that great catch? Gets into the end zone. Tie game in Jordan-Hare. You're watching SEC football presented by Allstate. Vandy scored first. Auburn just answers. A terrific touchdown catch and then run by Rivaldo Fairweather. This place is packed. You would never know that Auburn's record is 3-5. They haven't played like a 3-5 team. But the amount of people that are supporting this program and have every year is just one of the many things that makes the SEC so great. All right, let's learn more about the Allstate Playoff Predictor. You go to ESPN.com/Allstate Playoff Predictor. Here are the teams that have a chance in terms of what the Playoff Predictor is telling us. Georgia has the best shot, and then you have 5 other teams that are listed there. Now, our legendary director, Steve Turnberger, who's usually on our crew, would say, who's going to be in the playoff? Go ahead, guess. Andy is saying they still have a shot. Actually told you what Clark Lee's been telling his team. Hey, we beat Alabama. If we run the table and beat LSU and beat Tennessee and get to 9-3, who knows?
Hey, you don't know. It's Tennessee, especially if Tennessee's able to finish the season strong.
Well, on that one, Cedric Alexander back in the game, and Amaris Williams with a great form tackle on him. DeMarcus Riddick there too.
It was one of the things that DJ Durkin said. We got to win the B and C gap. No movement. Right there on the edge. Just stands up Gunnar Hansen. Really hard to get downhill. This is what Vanderbilt last possession. They threw it deep twice. Only ran the football that one time. Got behind in the sticks. Already at 10 plus on this possession.
Stowers leads the backfield on a 2nd and 12. Pavia trying that one-on-one throw, and Crawford keeps covering up Junior Sherrill. 3rd down.
They keep trying Crawford's side. It has not worked out. In fact, Sherrill was really late getting his head around. So you get that 1st down, run goes nowhere. 2nd down, you're pushing it for 1st down yardage. Nothing. We have not seen many option concepts, especially on the early downs, and now you're 3rd and 10 plus. See if Vanderbilt tries to move the pocket just to try to negate some of the pass rush. Auburn showing pressure with 6 up on the line of scrimmage.
Pavia in trouble. Down he goes out of bounds. lassoed down by Keldrick Falk.
That's why we're saying, do you just go ahead and move the pocket by design? Because you end up getting the pressure from the backside from Kieran Crawford. And then Falk's the one that cleans up Pavia. Pavia incapable of getting rid of that football before the negative yardage play. We talked about it earlier, Taylor. Throughout the season, he's been excellent about buying time and then dumping the ball if he can. That time, the Auburn pressure just too much.
It's Falk's 8th sack of the season.
Great job by the Auburn defense on this possession.
Previous
Stack
plays in
them
our
up.
video review to tell whether the quarterback threw the ball before he was out of bounds.
So I was wondering if, in fact, this would count as a sack or an incompletion.
And on second look, they might determine that Pavia's feet were still down in bounds as he attempts this pass. You see Falk there. The ball, of course, was moving forward. You had a potential receiver just downfield. See Falk there in pursuit. Does look like Pavia's left foot is still down in bounds. And if so, this goes back to, it's one of those things, it's a trait that you look for in a quarterback. Can you get out of these kind of catastrophic type plays?
This would be the difference in 8 yards. It doesn't sound like a lot, but in a game that's turned into a field position game, every yard counts.
From a field position standpoint, interesting to see. You push that 8 yards back up, and can you force Auburn on the minus side of the football field? Otherwise, we've seen some excellent punting already from Vandy. Another question would be, does the ball make it past the line of scrimmage? Is there enough forward? I don't even know how you could determine it at this point.
So wide errant. Yeah, it's so wide of the field. It's hard to determine how many yards it actually went. Javi is over there looking at it. Crazy thing about this guy's game is you don't want him going against his body.
After video review, the quarterback was not out of bounds before he threw a forward pass. The ball went beyond the line of scrimmage, so there is no intentional grounding. It's 4th down at the 24-yard line.
Well, there you go. That's 8 yards for Vanderbilt. Still punting, but instead of on the 16, and instead of it counting as a sack for Falk, it's an incompletion.
But again, Auburn did a great job forcing this punt, and it started on that first down, negative yardage play. Puts Vanderbilt in an uncomfortable position, not where they've wanted to be all season.
Mirko has 3 punts, averaging over 52 yards. Auburn's almost gotten to Mirko twice.
Yeah.
Auburn, of course, had a punt block against Mizzou 2 weeks ago. No pressure this time. Another terrific punt by the Australian, and it takes Scott back to his 20. And he falls forward ahead of the 27. Well, Auburn on offense, look at these numbers where you're averaging 8.8 yards per attempt. You're running it over 5 yards per carry, but it's the turnovers that have limited Auburn to just 25.9 points per game, -9 in the turnover margin, the worst in the SEC. The other stats look good, and the other teams that have the kind of ability to move the ball and play complementary defense are all in the college football playoff conversation. Thorne underneath completes it to Cobb out of the backfield. You just wonder if this turnover story is going to flip in November.
Well, and if they can maintain possession, but the other is capitalizing on drives. 50% in the red zone, scoring touchdowns. You can't win football games, you get in that scoring position. You got to find a way to come away with 6, not 3. Too many empty possessions as well for Auburn so far this season. Last 2 games, they've only been 4 of 8 in the red zone. Got to possess the ball, got to score the ball when it's down there.
On 2nd and 6, they run it with Hunter, and the extra effort gets Jarquez to the 35. Hugh Freeze has raved about the support he's received from Athletic Director John Cohen and the entire Auburn family. You can see it in the stadium today with this sellout crowd. It's worked everywhere this man has gone. You think of 10 wins at Arkansas State, 2 New Year's 6 bowls at Ole Miss, 31 wins in 4 years at Liberty. Give this guy another recruiting class or 2 like the one he just brought in. Auburn should be at the top of the conference. They're 0 for 6 on 3rd down today. On this 3rd and 2, they won't get it here.
Vanderbilt has done an excellent job, especially in these short yardage plays, of stacking up the offensive front. Now, repeatedly, we've seen today, this time punting it away, just too far away. And we think back to that 8 yards on the incompletion. And do you maybe go for it if you possess the ball 8 yards closer? You're almost at midfield if that were the case. But a great job by the Commodore defensive front. Maybe one of the biggest differences on this Commodore team that's overlooked is how stout they've been tackle to tackle.
Chapman on another punt. This is another beauty over the head of Height. And a fair catch inside the 10, down at the 7. That's a 57-yard punt. SEC Women's Soccer Tournament begins tomorrow afternoon from Pensacola, Florida, with 4 first-round matchups. 12:30 Eastern, it's A&M against Georgia. Then it's LSU Auburn. Then Tennessee, Kentucky, and Alabama. Vandy caps the night at 8 Eastern. And every match through the finals right here on the SEC Network and the ESPN app. Beautiful day on the plains. So fun to be around campus here in Auburn. See all the RVs out, all the tailgating around town. The first of 3 home games that Auburn has in November.
Crucial for Vandy to get something going on offense. Back-to-back possessions, 3 and out. When you're backed up, you got to get at least 1 first down.
It's Monty Jones. Just a couple. You know, we talked about Tim Beck before the game. Stinch, the offensive coordinator for Vandy, saying we, Vandy, in his words, need to average 4.5 yards per carry. 1.6 so far, 9 carries for 15 yards.
It seems a couple of negative yardage plays. We've seen Auburn able to get upfield quickly.
It's Gabe Fisher, the fullback. Jones runs behind Gabe and gets a few more. It'll be 3rd down near Vanderbilt's 12. Just wonder about Cedric Alexander. I've only seen him sparingly in this half. There's Tim Beck, Mexico State offensive coordinator that led the Aggies to 10 wins last year, including a win in this stadium.
You can see Vanderbilt make sure that they get this right. Like I say, you're backed up and you're coming out offense. You're sure you want to drive the ball, you want to get points, but more than anything else, that 1 first down, part of it is just a field position play. We've seen a punting exhibition in this game, but Vanderbilt's been on the short side of the field because they haven't moved the football very well. A 181-yard scoring drive. You see Auburn struggled on 3rd downs the entire game. It was a 4th down conversion that set up the touchdown to Fairweather. You see Pavia, he struggled to start well as well. A lot of downfield shots on that 5 for 12 passing where they just have not been able to connect downfield versus the Auburn secondary.
Where's Eli Stowers? 1 catch for 16 yards. The big tight end.
Oh, at this range, they're going to try to get him involved. He's on the left side of the formation.
Another Jones carry, and he moves it forward for 5.5. All he needed was 5.5. He got more than that near this 2-minute warning. Vanderbilt has all 3 of its timeouts.
And Taylor, that's the type of run that DJ Durkin talked about. This is what Vanderbilt wants to get you to do. They run a zone where everybody's kind of stepping the same direction, then they want to hit it really straight downhill. Vandy doesn't have a back that's going to make you miss.
You don't know college football unless you've been here to Tumors and inside Jordan Hare.
Welcome back to Auburn, where we have a tie game at 7-all with 2 to go in the first half. Peter Burns joining me now. You're going to let me know what we can expect in the Farm Ridge halftime report.
Looking forward to talking about Ole Miss, Arkansas. Ole Miss finally looking like the team that we thought they were going to be. And honestly, Bruce Pearl's going to stop by. You never know what's going to happen. But my question is, are these 2 good defenses or 2 anemic offenses right now, Czar?
A little bit of both in the first half. I mean, certainly the offenses have left a lot to be desired here, Stinch. This is a first down for Vanderbilt with 2 minutes to go in the first half. They have all 3 of their timeouts. Diego Pavia taking off, and Auburn has been all over him today. Just a few yards there as Quintrell Jamison Travis makes the tackle.
Well, I think we're going to see a little bit more of that from Pavia. You know, they kind of pivoted to the passing game, got aggressive there. I think part of that's a function of availability issues they have at running back with the injury to Alexander.
Going quickly across the middle. There's the big tight end, and he gets past the 40, up near the 44. There are flags on the field in the backfield.
There's a flag on the play.
Personal foul, face mask, offense, number 55. Half the distance to the goal, still second down.
That's left tackle Gunnar Hansen. He gets his money's worth. Watch him. So here he is right here at the left side. Watch him. He's going to kick into his set. Got his hands full when you're working with McLeod. And he fills the left hand up with face mask and never really lets go. That's an easy flag and negates a big play for Vanderbilt inside of 2 minutes.
Yeah, it would have been a 21-yard catch for Stowers. Instead, it's 2nd and 16 all the way back at the 12. And for Vanderbilt, you don't want to give Auburn the ball back with 90 seconds to go. Pavia again lofts it down there. Oh, incomplete. Quincy Skinner had it, and Jay Crawford ripped it out at the last second. What a half for the freshman.
Continually going after Jay Crawford. He's not having it. Even when Skinner, who could have come down with this catch, Crawford just fights all the way through the ball. Not even sure how he ended up getting it out of there. And Skinner, if you're looking at this throw, when you turn on the film, you're going, you got to come up with that catch. You can't allow him to rake it out late. Great effort by Jay Crawford, once again negating a downfield throw from the Commodore offense.
Pavia tries the right, goes back to the left, throws on the run. Incomplete, out of bounds. His 6 straight incompletions. He was looking for Josick McVeigh. It's that 1 touchdown catch against Mizzou all season. That one won't count.
You can see another flag right on the sideline.
Eligible receiver downfield, offense, number 54. That penalty is declined. It's 4th down.
That's big Stephen Hubbard. He's thinking his quarterback's going to scramble. He ended up leaking the pressure late.
Another fantastic punt. It takes Scott all the way back to his 27. Stayed upright though, and gets the job by Scott to stay
yards from where he possessed that.
Season is just 32 yards. About 30 yards to give him a reasonable chance. Thorne throws short, Fairweather turns and makes it almost to the 40, clock running. Auburn still with 2 timeouts.
We've seen Vanderbilt has had a couple of downs where they won in the pass rush.
And Fairweather again sits down underneath that coverage.
First down, clock stopping, and Auburn still 2 timeouts in their back pocket. We saw a terrible end of half sequence last week. They were out of timeouts at that point.
Thorne. Flags down. It would be a first down run. Well, let's see.
It looks like it's going to be a holding call.
Holding, offense, number 75, 10-yard penalty. The game will start on the ready. First down.
Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes we get these D linemen and they put their hand up and say, hey, I think he was holding me. Watch Wataha here. Oh, hey, he was holding me. Here comes the flag. Certainly backs Auburn up after what was otherwise a gainer.
Instead, 1st and 20. Thorne steps up and goes down. Couldn't get out of Aeneas to Cosmo's grasp. Stanford transfer with his first full sack of the season. There's an Auburn offensive lineman.
Yes, Miller.
Yeah, Xavion Miller had the great game last week against Kentucky. The right tackle.
Great job by DeCosmo on that rush. One inside, right now an inside move. Back-to-back plays with the Auburn offense backing up. They had back-to-back completions to start that possession with just over a minute. This looks to be a tackle who Pete
early.
Think that moving.
Well, offense was optional in the first half at Jordan-Hare Stadium. Auburn did have one drive down the field. Thorne finding Fairweather for a touchdown, and Diego Pavia with a touchdown throw out of the backfield to A.J. Newberry. You can watch the live performance of the Auburn University Marching Band on SEC Network Plus. You start streaming that now on the ESPN app. Just 132 total yards for Vanderbilt, 214. We get it.
So
what we you here. 5. A little bit back over on.
Even longer.
Here, you talked about Houston. I
an exhibition game.
I mean, how you?
Auburn defense been able.
Using the identity that they are and play their brand of football. He says we want to open up the second.
He is out there to start the second half, standing behind Pavia. And Diego will fake it to him, follow said, and get a few up to the 28-yard line. A pickup of 3 for this dual threat quarterback from Albuquerque, New Mexico, trying to lead the Commodores to bowl eligibility for the first time in 6 years. They've been in all 8 games they've played and won 5 of them.
You think about that double overtime loss to Missouri. This guy has infused confidence into the entire program.
And on a 2nd and 7, Alexander's looking for somewhere to go. He gets up to the 31. We mentioned offensive coordinator for Vanderbilt, Tim Beck, telling us in meetings this week that his team would love to average 4.5 yards per carry. Vanderbilt is far away from that right now, only 32 rushing yards in the game.
Yeah, this is the #1 third down offense in the conference because they can get it to 3rd and 3 or less, where they're converting it 80% of the time. Haven't gotten there, just on the outside of that on this 3rd.
And on 3rd and 4, Pavia keeps it himself, but he can't outrun Jaron Thompson. 4th down.
You see this from Pavia sometimes, where he'll pull it. I don't know that it's always a pull read. You know, he's feeling as if he's deep enough where you see the skate or the surf of that edge defender collapses down far enough inside. He's just not taking into account that second-level defender in Jaron Thompson. Just didn't have enough juice or speed to get to the edge.
Head coach Clark Lee has watched Jesse Mirko punt 6 times now, and he's been terrific on all of them. This drifts Malcolm Simmons back near his 10-yard line, and Malcolm stays on his feet near the 30, a 59-yard punt, 16-yard return by the freshman from Montgomery. And here comes the graduate player from Naperville, Illinois, Peyton Thorne, one of 12 active FBS players with more than 10,000 career yards of total offense.
Just got to get him going as well. You think about that passing game in the first half, largely bottled up for Auburn offensively. Total yards, they were able to pop a couple of plays, but some misfires from Peyton Thorne in the passing attack and a reconfigured offensive front.
To the ground, Jarquez Hunter. First run of the game was a 15-yarder. That was his long of the game. That goes for 7 yards. Hunter now with 44 rushing yards on 12 carries.
You know, on the counter runs, you get a puller out in front, and Auburn has capitalized on that. Hugh Freeze mentioned it. We're able to pop a couple of nice runs versus Kentucky.
Did just see DeRicky Wright there on the field, back out there after suffering an injury early in the game. Evidently went through all the protocols. On 2nd and 2, Thorne will throw, and there is Keandre Lambert-Smith. Haven't called his name much today. The Penn State transfer has been great all year, 22 yards.
Again, just too easy. That time C.J. Taylor at safety just got his eyes caught up in the backfield. So Auburn just hit a counter run. They give a similar action on that play action. Peyton Thorne just pulls it out and says, forget it, I'll flip it out here to Lambert-Smith out in space. Easy pickup. A strong start to this possession.
Into Vanderbilt territory. Over the top to Lambert-Smith again, near another first down.
This is what opened up for the Auburn offense last week. Get the ground game going early, pop a couple of runs, and now the RPO game makes sense. It's just box counting at that point. Do I like my opportunity on the outside, or is it a give read? Last week versus Kentucky, repeatedly, light boxes, not a lot of defenders to stop the run. Okay, well, we'll just hand it off. Now if Vanderbilt's going to load up to stop that run, Auburn can pull it and flip it out onto the perimeter.
Lambert-Smith running around again. Instead, it's a handoff. It goes down to the 27-yard line by Hunter. Tyson Russell on the tackle.
Auburn load up that personnel. You get 2 backs in the backfield. And one of those is a big body and a tight end type, and then a tight end up there at the line of scrimmage. And both of these teams that throw personnel groupings and formations that a lot of defenses you just don't see a lot of during the season. 2 tight ends. Luke Deal's lined up in the backfield with Fairweather up there on the line of scrimmage.
Deal tries to block, can't get to the defender though. Brandon Fontenette. First time we've called his name today. Terrific sophomore for Vanderbilt.
Great play. You know, so Clark Lee's watching it over and over again. You're pulling right side to left, so he sends Fontenette off the edge. He goes shooting into the backfield for a negative yardage play. Big play for the defense.
Fontenette was a good player for TCU last year. He's turned into a great player for Vanderbilt in his sophomore season. 3rd and 7. Thorne, short throw, short of the first down to Perry Thompson for his 5th catch of the season, tackled by Lackey.
Yeah, that tackle for loss was huge. You think about Fontenette finally getting in there. If you're Auburn, You got the RPO game working, that counter repeatedly getting downhill. You got an easy pitch and catch. And it was just that one negative yardage play to get him off schedule.
This would be Towns Magoo's longest kick of the year from 44 yards. Again, without Alex McPherson today. Did kick last week, the only time this season. And Magoo hooked it.
I don't know if he got a clean swing on this ball. He might have gotten the laces. No, they spun it just in time.
Dari Noka in studio with your AT&T Studio update. What a day for Ole Miss wide receiver Jordan Watkins. No Trey Harris, no worries in Arkansas. Watkins, 5 touchdown catches. That's a school record. Ties a conference record. Also has a school record, 254 receiving yards. Rebels rolling.
Good grief. How about that?
Man, don't make him angry.
Ole Miss in Georgia next Saturday afternoon.
Ooh.
In Oxford. That will be fun. Here it's 7-all in the third quarter, and Diego Pavia at quarterback. The Commodores trying to set up the bubble, but it's covered up. Ole Miss next week playing the Georgia Bulldogs, and then at Florida and the Egg Bowl on a Friday after Thanksgiving.
Get a little bit of a break for the Rebels after the Georgia game.
The Grove might be sold out next week.
Yeah, I think that'll be crowded now. There might be quite a few dogs making that trip.
7 straight incompletions for Diego Pavia. And keep it himself and lose yardage. Caleb Harris followed him to the sideline.
Auburn has done an excellent job on their perimeter defense. It's been a good job. Basically, they end up getting upfield late. Once again, it's Crawford. Plays inside, is able to rally back out. Pavia, sometimes, and we've mentioned this, he'll end up pulling it. I'm sure that there was a good read on that one. Very well defended by Auburn on the edge. Looks like there's like an issue with the chains. Maybe the down marker.
Stoppage on the playing field is due to the chains.
Here's my 2 or 3 times a year opportunity to say it's remarkable that we still use those in 2024.
Like yeah, couldn't we? I mean, I've got like a laser that keeps my garage door from crushing me if I walk underneath it.
My car can drive itself on the interstate, and we've got chains still in college football.
Laser technology, they got an engineering school here. Get on that. They're the ones, I think Auburn was the first ones with the digital down markers. Let's fix the chains now. Big third down, to say the least, especially 10+, given this passing trend from Pavia. Just cannot find a connection at receiver.
Eli Stowers is running around at the bottom of your screen. Pavia's looking the other way. Now a launch, but his ball was hit as he threw it. There are flags down.
The Auburn sideline is wigging out. They can't believe the flag. Hugh Freeze is saying the ball was tipped. I think it's going to be a holding.
Pass.
Yeah.
Holding. Defense. Number 23. 10-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
Well, obviously, if the ball's tipped, no PI. What they're saying is the holding occurred before the ball was thrown. So Pavia ends up having to flush out of the pocket, up in the pocket. Falk gets a shot on him. But watch at the bottom, right along the numbers. Yeah, they're saying Crawford just kind of slung the receiver down. Hard to see which number because it's yellow on white. Might as well not have a number.
A little difficult to find out which player has the ball when you have that color combination. Diego Pavia takes off, and he is tackled by DeMarcus Riddick who got him by the top of the back of his jersey at the 40-yard line.
And Vandy lucky they didn't get called for holding right on the edge. Flag did not come out. Pavia with one of his most productive plays we've seen in a while, especially in the ground game. You know, repeatedly we've seen him pull the football, opt to keep it himself, try to get to the perimeter. Just has not been able to get out there. Carried it 17 times, only 38 rush yards.
Yeah, as a team, DJ Durkin's defense has been terrific, limiting this Vandy ground attack. Now Pavia wants to throw, fakes, throws, intercepted, no, incomplete. A real chance by Austin Keys to have his first ever interception.
It looked to me like they were going to try to flip it out early to Spence. He's trying to end up getting it to Gabe Fisher. We've seen a couple times in this game where Pavia has put the ball in jeopardy. Auburn's had opportunities to get hands on balls. That time, Keys narrowly missing the turnover. Vanderbilt has struggled to hold up in protection. What Auburn has done is they've left a rusher to spy on the quarterback. They do here.
That ball's deflected, 4th down. There are flags on the field.
Illegal substitution. Defense. More than 11 players on the field at the time of the snap. 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
Let's count them. You got what, 2, 4, 6 in the box. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12 in the back end. Vanderbilt catching a bit of a break. First time we've seen a ball deflected in this game. Pavia has a difficulty with that at 6 feet tall.
The only thing keeping Vanderbilt's offense on the field are Auburn penalties on this drive.
There haven't been many 3rd and shorts. As we mentioned, Vanderbilt has been outstanding. Full house backfield, 3 backs back there with Pavia.
And it's Diego to keep it, running into his own men and not getting there.
What a stop by the defensive front. Second level rallies up in there. So you got those 3 potential ball carriers. They turn into blockers. You got 3 guys filling it up. Pavia ran right into the back of his own back.
Clark Lee's offense is still on the field at their own 45-yard line.
And they're subbing in Eli Stowers. So a couple times this year, they've run a trick play on 4th down. Last week versus Texas, Eli Stowers, they acted like they had busted, and Stowers ended up taking the snap on an end around with a handoff.
Play clock is almost about to run out.
Prior to the play clock expiring, timeout, Vanderbilt. Their first of the half.
Well, at this point, if you're going to take that timeout, then you're likely going to run a play right there.
We'll find out next. This is Auburn on a glorious day. Looking that way, throwing down inside the 2. 1.
The offensive line blocks to the right. Tough time to make an adjustment at the line of scrimmage with the crowd noise.
Option, Alexander. First down, Commodores. You can see Pavia's hobbling, and so is Alexander, but they were able to get the first.
Yeah, you almost worried that Alexander was going to tackle himself. It's an easy pitch read. Alexander kind of bobbled it. You see it there. He's losing his balance, but it was an easy pickup to the backside of that edge. You can see the defense leaning hard into the boundary where Vanderbilt had set the formation.
Alexander took that knee brace off after warm-ups. Comes out of the game after converting that big play there, and Newberry comes in. And AJ doesn't get much. In fact, might have lost half a yard. Dorian Mausi, the 2-year starter for Mike Elko at Duke, now plays for Auburn.
Well, Mausi has really played some good football for Auburn this year. The coaching staff, 2 weeks in a row that we've had them, pointed out not only his play, but his leadership, game awareness. That time did a quick diagnosis to get downhill on the inside run. Another good job by Auburn on first down. A second and a full set of 10 yards for Vanderbilt to convert.
Pavia to Stowers. Stowers wanted to throw back to Diego. Instead on the run, incomplete, looking for Sherrill. Of course, Eli was a quarterback for Texas A&M for a few years.
A great job once again. Crawford was with Sherrill the whole way. Sherrill actually had a chance to come up with that catch. He worked back to Stowers late, didn't recognize that he was under duress early enough. Couldn't make it back. Great job by the Auburn secondary, the true freshman, to stick with that in coverage.
Handoff to Newberry. AJ tackled up at the 46 by Riddick.
Another question, what are you thinking? Obviously, you're running on third down. You got to be thinking, Oh, no, so here comes the unit. What do you think? You're trying to steal maybe some yards on that third down play call. A lot of ball to play here in the second half. It would have been an aggressive one. Interesting play call there on a third down.
How about this Auburn defense? Commodores just 47 yards rushing. Pavia just has 5 completions, and Stowers only has 1 of them. Now Mirko again gets it down there, but falling into the end zone. They're going to say he's down at the 2. Loic Fungi fell into the end zone, but the ball dropped out of his hands, and so that means Auburn will start at its own 2. Loic Fungi had the football and was down with it inside the 2-yard line before his momentum carried him into the end zone. Great play on special teams by Fungi there, and Auburn is backed up at inside their own 2-yard line to start this drive.
Remember last time they threw it on first down in their coming out offense. They got Cam Cameron on a hitch.
They do go to the ground and get about a yard with Austin. Auburn with 88 rushing yards and Jarquez Hunter only with 50.
Keandre Lambert-Smith subbing out of the game. He's now on the Auburn sideline. He was a little gimpy after that snap.
2nd and 9. Austin and Cobb surround Thorne in the end zone. Austin running sideways, Thorne running forward, barely got out of the end zone, tackled inside the 1. See, a number of Commodores thought Randon Fontenette had a safety there.
You watch it, that read, and it does look like it's a take. It ends up, actually Longwell was able to get up to turn him back into Fontenette. Peyton Thorne lucky to get that football advanced far enough to avoid the safety. Remember, that ball would have to be completely out of the end zone. Any portion of it. It's not like just the nose of it would have to be across the line for it to not be a safety.
The totally stunned student section is silent right behind Thorne on this 3rd and 11. Thorne, time to throw deep, goes down there, incomplete. And he had Cam Coleman.
He did. He did a little stutter go and had a step. Cam Coleman's going to have a step on almost anybody working against Martell Height. Just could not make it back to that throw. Too short and inside. And you think about that previous possession by Vanderbilt, 9 plays, 28 yards, but the flipping of the field position.
Oscar Chapman is barely in play here. Another good punt. Will send Height back to his own 40. Now he's in Auburn territory. Martell turns the corner and is inside the 25.
So you go back to that down punt, your defense comes out, does its job, and Martell Height, back-to-back plays. He was the defender on the stutter go, then takes this punt return, and Vanderbilt, who has been stymied on offense, one drive, only been able to move the ball when aided by penalty. Watch him finish that, boom.
Never went to the ground. Height is 3rd in the FBS in punt return average this year. That one went for 39 yards, and Pavia hasn't had a completion since we were in the first quarter. Has terrific field position here with the ball at the Auburn 21.
Vanderbilt has been one of the most proficient offenses in the red zone. Just outside of it right here, they scored 97% of the time.
Jones carries it inside the 16 with defenders on his back.
Taylor, I mean, so they run a little G lead. You don't see that scheme very often. They pulled their left guard to be the lead blocker, not across the ball, but to the play side. And the push after contact, it's another 4 yards probably. Go about 10 back wanting 4 yards. Well, how about 6 on an opener? You see that, 5th in the FBS and red zone offense. They're almost automatic coming away with points.
All this pre-snap movement we've seen from Vanderbilt all day. Jones gets down to the 13. They say the ball came out. Auburn's got it. Looked like Austin Keys was at the bottom of this pile.
It looks like Keys is the one that rakes it out. I don't know, I think his knee is, Jones looks like his knee is down. Well, Keys got in there, he tackles the football, literally. There's number 6, rake it out. The question is Jones' right knee down before the ball comes out? See Keys meet him right in the hole. It does look like, hard to tell from that angle. His right knee, can't really see it from that angle. This might show it. His knee's down, the ball comes out. Does look like Jones.
It looked painful, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And Monty's being carried off the field right now.
There's a reason why he's in there. He hadn't had a ton of carries coming into this game. Only 9 touches. But he's gotten a lot more work today because Alexander's clearly limited, as you mentioned earlier, Taylor.
Either first down at the 12 for Vanderbilt, or it's Auburn's ball. And they'll take a look at this. Jones, one of those 9 people that came over from New Mexico State, either a coach or a player.
The question is, was the ball out earlier? You know, is it kind of jostling around?
I mean, the only thing you might argue,
the ball's
Stitch,
right. I mean,
is that the Auburn defender has his arm underneath Jones's right knee.
If you keep rolling it back, the ball's out. See, the ball's right here. Now the question is, does he possess it right there? So watch, the ball's in his left arm, and it does drop low, but it does look like he probably still was possessing it as he was down. You see the punch coming in there from Austin Keys, who narrowly missed a pick earlier.
After video review, the runners, both knees were down before losing possession. It is third down, 32 at the 13-yard line.
The ball looked like it was out, Taylor, because he's carried it in his left arm. It was really low, but you could see his hand was over the nose of the football, so it was not a loose ball. You could see why, and it ultimately did come out. You see why. Certainly the student section, they were all over it. It's young eyes, they can look in there and see it.
They're a lot closer to the ball than you and I are right now, as they are right behind the Auburn defense, and it'll be loud for Diego Pavia on this 3rd and 2.
Well, as we mentioned, they've been excellent in 3rd and short. We've seen the Auburn defense find a way to stack them up. You got to be smart right here, especially with some of these concepts that you've seen from Vanderbilt. Stay away from a pitch, a nice clean read. You don't want to try to turn it over here.
Fakes the sweep, throws, incomplete across the middle. He's looking for Stowers. Good coverage by Smith.
Auburn's all over Stowers. When they came into this, we talked to DJ Durkin. He knew coming in. Who do they want to get the ball? Oh, excellent coverage. I mean, he's underneath that all the way. You've got a fast mover in Sylvester Smith running with the tight end.
And now Brock Taylor to break the tie from 31 yards. Missed a few against Mizzou, but he's made 8 in a row. And make it 9. Vanderbilt reclaims the lead with 1:05 left in the 3rd quarter.
Well, Taylor, we came into this talking quarterbacks, Jarquez Hunter. It's been special teams has largely been the story in this game. A couple of punters, place kickers here in the second half.
Matthew, you'll be thrilled to know that Monday at 8 Eastern right here on the SEC Network, we'll have our latest episode of True South. John T. Edge travels to the upstate region of South Carolina with author George Singleton to a flea market in Pickens to eat chili dogs at Holmes Hot Dogs in Spartanburg and to Saxon's Hot Dogs in Abbeville. It's going to be another great show. True South, 8 Eastern on Monday night.
Dang, are there any corn dogs involved? A hit for the dog cycle. You got the chili dog, a hot dog, a corn dog in there. Wow, I did not know that.
I hope Alyssa Lang is watching this broadcast right now. She will be in Columbia, South Carolina tonight to be honored with the Alumni Award. So proud of our colleague as she watches Texas A&M in South Carolina.
They should have her like run out with the team or take Cocky's place in that cage pregame.
Well, the Vanderbilt special teams gets credited with those 3 points, not just the kick, but the punt that was downed inside the 2, then the punt return by Height to give the Vanderbilt offense a short field, and then Taylor makes the field goal to give Vanderbilt the lead.
Third phase of the game. I mean, it's just been huge. Offense has not been able to do anything really here in the second half. Did not advance the ball far, but that third phase, the all too important one, you win the field position. You think about to those penalties on Auburn's defense to extend the drive. They ended up punting it away to flip the field. It was pivotal so far here in the second half.
Austin looked like his headgear was altered there, but no flag comes down. He gets a few.
Headgear altered. That's a good way to describe it. I gotta say, it's a heck of a run by Alston. You know, everybody's gonna say not many yards. He had a battle to get there. Should have been maybe 0, perhaps even a negative yard play. Haven't seen a ton of Jarquez Hunter of late.
Yeah, just really on third down, Stinch. That's been about it. Alston and Cobb have been the first and second down backs. It's Austin again. Not much. You know, we've talked so much about Vanderbilt's inability to run the ball, only 2.4 yards per carry. Auburn's averaging 3.5.
It's been really quiet on the ground, and you have to wonder what's going on from an availability standpoint. You see Vanderbilt, hockey line substitution, almost a near entire replacement of their defensive front for this third down.
And Peyton Thorne is going to wait until the fourth quarter starts. What will Hugh Freeze do on this third down? He'll talk to Ashley in just a moment.
You know, you're out of this formation. Here's Rivaldo Fairweather, one of their most targeted players.
Instead, go the other way to Simmons out of the went in motion. They converted a fourth down with him earlier in the game, and they convert a third down here.
Twice now where they've been able to move Simmons across the formation. Vanderbilt incapable of adjusting early enough, and it's just an easy flip out there in space to get the extend the first third down conversion of the game for Auburn.
Exactly what Hugh Freeze needed to do, and now maybe some razzle-dazzle. Simmons wants to throw, instead takes a big loss. Brandon Fontenette tackles him back near the 32.
Really surprised. I don't know why here. You get Jarquez Hunter in the game. He ends up being a blocker. It's clearly a pass, a one-man route. Perry Thompson, the true freshman, was blanketed. It was never open, and Simmons, you got to just burn that ball, dump it, but don't take the loss.
A 10-yard loss. On 2nd and 20, Thorne across the middle to Fairweather, incomplete. The last minute, Commodore got a hand in.
It looked like it was Martell Height.
He was slow to get up too, Stinch.
He fell off the coverage. He was working outside. Rivaldo Fairweather was open, and Height worked back in to break up that pass. Heck of a play.
After the first third down conversion of the game, a couple of plays later, it's 3rd and 20. And they'll just run it with Cobb. It's past the 35, and Auburn's going to have to punt again.
And I gotta say, Jarquez Hunter is AWOL here in the second half. Put him in there for one snap. We've seen him on third downs. It's been Cobb, it's been Alston. We did not see him leave the field under duress. Just have not seen him play a role at all here in the second half.
This is Oscar Chapman's 6th punt today. Terrific punt with exactly the hang time you want against a dangerous return man. Vandy has the lead and the football.
Dari Noke in studio with a studio update made from scratch to our friends at Hardee's. How about Oklahoma's Javonte Barnes, 18 carries, 203 rushing yards, 3 touchdowns. OU in a game they hope will get them right a little bit. They go for 665 in total offense, beat Maine 59-14. They're 5-4, off to Mizzou next week, guys.
Thank you, Dari. This is the competitive game to watch right now at this moment today in college football. 10-7 offense has been optional today. Diego Pavia has only completed 5 passes. Hands it to Cedric Alexander. That's only Alexander's 5th carry of the game. Vanderbilt 55 yards rushing in the entire game coming into that one. Look at that for Pavia. He hasn't completed a pass stint since the first quarter.
It's incredible, and yet they are winning. And part of it's a function of you're going to empty red zone possession and field position. Vanderbilt had that extended drive via a couple of penalties and flipped the field with a great punt and then an excellent punt return after they stopped Auburn. That's been the story here in the second half.
Alexander stays in there, carries it again, and falls forward for a couple more. It'll be a big third down. It seems like Cedric Alexander is still favoring that leg there was a game-time decision. And it seems like Diego Pavia, who's banged up against Texas, is also hobbled a bit.
Yeah, I don't think they're full speed in the offensive backfield. Looked like Alexander just subbed off. He got up, kind of hopped on that leg. And we've seen Auburn find a way to stand up the Vanderbilt offensive front. And a couple of inside runs earlier on third down.
DJ Durkin's defense has been terrific today. On 3rd and 3, Alexander, second effort, gets him the first.
Well, that's the first one that they've been able to convert on 3rd and short. Coming into this game, as we mentioned, they have been excellent. That time Alexander had to be a little bit patient. Today's they've only been 1 of 4. Great job by Auburn defensively in these short yardage scenarios, but obviously seeded one there. Alexander just enough to leap forward.
And you know good and well, when they convert a first down, they will try to play keep away from Auburn. Lead the SEC in time of possession.
And then play clock. The play clock's snapping at under 3 seconds each time.
With 1 this time, Pavia follows Gillespie. AJ doesn't get much. Mausi with another tackle. Second down.
They're just bleeding the clock down. They'll do this first possession of the game, though. Mausi, good job of shedding the block, and looks like Lee down in the secondary for Auburn.
Sophomore from Ellenwood, Georgia, is that goal line interception last week. DJ Durkin, the defensive coordinator, chased him all the way down to the end zone. We'll check on Lee and come right back. Let's check out the good hands play brought to you by Allstate. Auburn's one scoring play of the game, Rivaldo Fairweather with a shoestring catch. That was just enough to make it a good play. He turned it into an outstanding play by moving all the way down the field, eluding tacklers, and then this extra effort, well, take my word for it, diving to the pylon for the touchdown. His Auburn offense has been frustrated all day. His defense, though, has come up big time and time again. It's 2nd and 8 for Vanderbilt here.
Well, and Kayan Lee came out at corner. We got a substitute backup corner on the perimeter.
Pavia incomplete. There are the flags.
Was trying to get it in there to Eli Stowers, as we've seen repeatedly. That time, looks as if they're going to get Wooden being there a little bit early.
Pass interference. Defense, number 21. The ball we place in the spot of the foul. Automatic first down.
We've seen a couple of drives extended due to penalty. It's that right arm most likely. Take out the umpire in the process. A lot of times what you'll see is the defender will hook the receiver with that right arm and reach across with their trailing arm, and their front arm ends up making the play on the ball. Fresh set of downs. And Lee still out of the game, replaced by
Kinsley Lador Faustin.
Yeah.
On 1st and 10, Pavia goes to Gillespie, and Chase gets near midfield. Junior from Tallahassee, who typically is the pass protector, but has been pressed into more action as Alexander's limited. In Jacksonville, Gators and Dogs just starting up on ABC. 2nd and 4 after a 6-yard completion. Down the field, there's a completion. Quincy Skinner, first completion since the first quarter, as Skinner was free underneath.
Well, the Auburn sideline lost their minds. The Auburn defender had gone to the ground. They're wanting offensive pass interference. You can see it, Skinner very physical on that release. A flag to stop this play.
Offense, number 50, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Andy goes up tempo there, and it costs them 5 yards.
Well, they were tempo on the previous snap too. Snapped the ball with like 23 seconds on the clock. It obviously paid off. And Skinner on that release, he was working against Crawford. Crawford ended up on the ground, and the Auburn sideline, DJ Durkin, ran all the way down the field. Then they tried to go tempo again, and a procedure penalty to slow things down.
22-yard completion to Skinner on the previous play. First completion in a couple of quarters for Pavia, his 6th of the game. Throws, sideline catch, inside the 30 to Gillespie.
This goes back to the big long completion, and watch, you see DJ Durkin, he can't believe it. He's the guy with his arms up in the air running down the field going, my gosh. My guy ended up on the ground because he got slung on the ground.
Still going crazy on this 2nd and 9. Kayan Lee is back in the game for Durkin's defense. And Durkin is working the line judge. Pavia with time in the middle. Inside the 20, down to the 19 goes Quincy Skinner, down to Ashley.
Well, linebacker Keldrick Falk told me that they rely on that energy that you see Coach Durkin bring. He says he brings it every day. That's just his deal. It's in practice. It's at the game. They know what they're getting from him all the time, and that's something they rely on. We actually had a chance to sit down and talk with Coach Durkin, and he said, I'm glad you guys have noticed that about us on the sideline. He enjoys being down here, setting the tone and keeping his guys locked in. Been a little more calm, cool, collected until most recently here, guys.
3rd and short here for Vanderbilt. And Pavia, there we've seen it all year. It works going straight ahead on the fake. And Crawford with the tackle after a 1st down run.
That's the downhill running that Pavia brings. You know, he hasn't had a lot of speed today, just follows his guard, Lasoya, pulling around on the side. You got that fly sweep motion. It makes the defense know they have to defend the width of the field. Pavia just takes it straight downhill. Key conversion, now inside the red zone.
Was tied for the longest run of the day for Vanderbilt. It went for 6 yards. Alexander goes inside the 10. Tackled by Mawusi.
Right now, just testing that Auburn defensive front in the middle. Couple of downhill runs back to back. Starting to leak some yards here on this drive.
You know, with Auburn's inability to score points on offense, a touchdown here doesn't necessarily put it away, but it's a tall order for Auburn to come back from 10 down. You hold them to a field goal, it's still a 1-possession game.
That would be a huge win for the Auburn defense. That would be 2 red zone forced field goal attempts, one completed earlier by Vanderbilt. Can they bow their necks here?
On 2nd and 6, Alexander a little bit, maybe to the 7. Malik Blockton on the tackle.
Great job by Mausi. Again, got there first. Now, talk about Vanderbilt's efficiency, and you mentioned it, Taylor. A forced field goal. If you win on this 3rd down, 1-possession game still for the Auburn, and as we know, a scarcity of scoring opportunities in this contest.
It's the 11th play of the drive. Vandy can get a 1st down on a drive that's lasted nearly 8 minutes. Pavia gets it off. Auburn wants a hold. Pavia throws to the end zone, incomplete. Keldrick Falk all over Pavia there.
The receiver slipped coming out of his route. Looked like they moved Stowers across the formation. He was just late coming out of his route because he slipped. Pavia ended up having to clutch and just try to get the ball away to preserve the field position and not give up that tackle for loss.
Brock Taylor from 26 yards to extend the lead to 6. "13 plays, 70 yards in 7 minutes and 53 seconds. There are flags on the field. Vanderbilt thinks this is on Auburn.
They might get Keldrick Falk here for jumping over one of the field goal protectors up front.
Personal foul, leverage, defense, number 15.
Yeah.
Half the distance to the goal, automatic, first down.
You can do it in the corners. You can't do it right in the middle of the line. Let's watch Falk here.
So here he is. Watch this. Watch 15. You just can't do it. They're saying it's too different. Put his hand on his teammate, trying to lever up. They're saying it's just too dangerous. See him jump over a would-be blocker.
And so Vanderbilt takes the points off of the board. It's 10-7 again, but it's first and goal for the Commodores at the Auburn 4.
Obvious scoring opportunity. Depending on how long this lasts, could put even more points on the board and continuing to count down this clock.
7 minutes and 57 seconds and counting once the ball is snapped. Pavia keeps it, doesn't get anything, but the clock is his friend as it goes under 5 minutes. Falk with another tackle. 5-0. Auburn had held Vandy to a field goal, but committed a personal foul. Keldrick Falk then made the tackle on the next play after committing the foul. He's out of the game after being injured on the last play. And on 2nd and 4, Pavia throws to the end zone, touchdown. That's Stowers.
Good job, Eagle.
Well, you had to think in the red zone, where are they going to go with this football? They brought Stowers all the way across the formation, takes a big hit from Jay Crawford right at the goal line. But the big tight end of the Commodores maintains possession, crosses the goal line for a touchdown. Made that field goal earlier. A personal foul extended the drive, and Vandy able to put it in the end zone.
Wait till you hear the numbers on that drive. 14 plays, 78 yards, 8 minutes, 53 seconds. And Eli Stowers, who only had 1 catch in the game coming into that possession. That was his 2nd catch, and a big one, a touchdown grab, his 4th of the year. Diego Pavia has been limited here today, but his Commodores have a 10-point cushion.
Ran the ball just well enough on that drive. We see a big pass down the sideline, a controversial one at that.
One of the best chances to reach the SEC championship game in Atlanta. Texas and Texas A&M, Tennessee and Georgia. That's in part due to the schedule that those teams have left. If I'm the Aggies, the Gamecocks would have my full attention tonight. Of course, Georgia and Tennessee play each other in a couple of weeks. To learn more about the All-State Playoff Predictor, go to ESPN.com/All-State Playoff Predictor. Well, 4:18 to go in the game. And Auburn is down 10. How does Peyton Thorne get this offense going?
Well, you would think coming into this game, we thought he'd have the help of Jarquez Hunter. And as we mentioned, the 27 has been AWOL. They have not been able to get anything going here in the second half. Their best player in Hunter, just 2 touches. Peyton Thorne has not had a great afternoon. The passing game, from a protection standpoint, has been a source of difficulty. See, Diego Pavia certainly did not fill up the box score himself. Right now, his team leading 2 possessions, up 10.
Hunter leaves the backfield. Thorne pushes it down the field. Good catch made by Lambert Smith for 17 yards.
Lambert Smith earlier in the game was hobbled, came off limping a little bit. It's a good ball here, finding his favorite target downfield. You see Vanderbilt ceding a lot of cushion.
Thorne will take off, and he's up to the 45 where he's tackled by Linus Zunk. And clock continues to run.
The ball looked like it may have squirted out there towards the end, but after Thorne was down, it appears, right on the logo.
Out of the backfield to Hunter, and Jarquez gets to the 49 where Nick Rinaldi makes the tackle. Rinaldi's been terrific in the last month.
There's Thorne on the scramble. That ball, I don't know.
It was coming out.
That ball was coming out, I think, before he was down. Auburn was quick over the ball.
Smart move by the Auburn offense to keep things going, and Hunter gets the first down near the Vanderbilt 40. Of course, the clock doesn't stop until under 2 minutes to go on a first down. Auburn has all of its timeouts and the 2-minute timeout. 4 receivers to the top of your screen. The underneath throw to Hunter. And he'll pick up about 6 yards down to the 34.
Well, now 3 touches in a row for Hunter. Obviously all here in the passing game in a hurry-up mode. Still have 3 timeouts for Auburn as they clip down the field.
And Thorne gets out of there, facing pressure. Throws to the sideline, incomplete. The ball broken up as Coleman looked for the grab, but Lackey pushed it out. 3rd down and 4, and there is a Vandy player down near midfield.
I think it might be Rinaldi. And Thorne, he's holding that shoulder. He took a shot earlier in this game from a defender. Big on a run, a big hit, throwing shoulder. You can see him kind of working that right arm.
Looks like Bradley Mann is the player that's down in the middle of the field. Big defensive tackle from Jacksonville, Florida. Vanderbilt is 2:26 away from becoming bowl eligible for the first time since 2018. Commodores haven't had a winning record at the end of the year, if you include the bowl game, since 2013.
Man, there's Jerry Kill out there as well in the white hat, former head coach of New Mexico State. His fingerprints all over this Vanderbilt program now.
Boy, there is no question about that. Tommy Tuberville's here today, coached the Auburn Tiger team that undefeated season 20 years ago. He was grilling Coach Kill before the game. So was Hugh Freeze. Ton of respect for what Coach Kill did at Minnesota, New Mexico State, and other places. That's quite a view on top of the crane in the north end zone. On 3rd and 4, Thorne over the middle, incomplete. Fairweather was covered up by Randon Fontenette, and Coach Freeze is going to elect to go for a long field goal here.
See, they're trying to get it to Fairweather. He's just right over the ball. Fontenette, who has proven to be quite the difference maker defensively for Vanderbilt. You know, you go for it. This is far from a gimme, right? Especially the adventures at 52. You almost think you got to go for it.
Magoo's just 5 of 11 on the season, 0 for 3 from 50 plus.
They actually like him from further, they say.
Wide to the right.
The 52-yard attempt is no good.
So Auburn still with those 3 timeouts in their pocket, 2-minute timeout as well. But you have to think, you know, given the adventures of field goal kicking for Auburn this year, look, 4th down's been one of your better downs, frankly, in this game. So it's almost like you're throwing away this down and forfeiting field position. Why not take a shot at it, if nothing else, to see if you can convert it?
Just think of the turnovers that Auburn has committed this year, -9 in that category. The red zone inefficiency, and the issues with the kicking game. Alex McPherson going through this awful stomach illness that he's dealt with all season, only kicking last week. And Nate Johnson is in now at quarterback for Vanderbilt. Another speedy quarterback that Vanderbilt has as flags come in. Nate, a transfer from Utah. I've seen him in a lot of games.
Makes you think, you know, late in a game like this, it'll be smart. Pavia has been ailing.
Holding, offense, number 84, 10-yard penalty, still 1st down.
Cameron Johnson is from this state down near Mobile. A tight end called for holding here, and he got a handful.
Yeah, easy call, good call by the official there on the edge. Johnson was running out there. Big tight end for Vanderbilt.
It's interesting that we had not seen Nate Johnson until now, given Pavia's issues with his health coming into this game. Saw
last week the flag game.
The worst team in the SEC by a mile in 2023.
Oh, the turnaround, significant
game today. In a few. And the defenders.
Pavia.
They've won. Try to visit. Back going to run it. It's going to be Nate Johnson instead. And he'll take on tacklers as McLeod makes the tackle, and Coach here will finish the home part of the schedule.
They come after this one.
The answer is no. And Mirko runs around to waste some more time. And they take as much time as they can before it's whistled down. The 2-minute timeout comes at 1:48. Great job by the Vandy special teams using 13 seconds there. Auburn is down 10 and they need a miracle. Look at that graphic right there. Vandy holds on. They get to a bowl game for the first time since 2018. But it makes me think of our friend Marty Smith and the book he wrote, Never Settle. Clark Lee said, that's great and all, but we don't want to settle for that. We're dreaming big around here. We just want to keep winning as many games as we can. And who knows, maybe influence the college football playoff picture. Thorne throws to Fairweather, the ball comes out, and that'll do it. If it's a fumble, it is. DeRicky Wright, who was injured on the first possession of the game, comes up with the football.
Like C.J. Taylor's the one that rakes it out. C.J. Taylor, who missed a couple of tackles earlier in the game. In fact, Fairweather ran right through his would-be tackle. He just rakes it out in Fairweather's arms.
And while Vanderbilt is thinking about what's ahead and continuing to be in the present, it is remarkable when you think of all the things this team is achieving. Vanderbilt is going to beat Alabama and Auburn in the same season for the first time since 1955.
It's unbelievable. I mean, hard to wrap your head around it. You knew Vanderbilt was playing winning football this year. You know, you think about 3-point loss last week versus Texas. That game easily could have swung the other way for the Doors. Instead, you know, just Diego Pavia. You sprinkle a little Pavia in there, abracadabra. Next thing you know, you've got an offense, you've got a winning team. It's been pretty remarkable this year, the turnaround.
Vandy plays South Carolina and Nashville on November 9th at LSU, hosts Tennessee. How about all these things that have been going on? Beating Bama, beating Auburn, 6-3 record. Vandy's John Jumper won the Nobel Prize for chemistry.
Whoa.
Kevin Strauss, the astronomy professor at Vandy, received the MacArthur Fellow Genius Award. Superfan Nate Bargatze's on Saturday Night Live again.
Man, so he's got to be fired up.
It's a good time to be a Commodore.
I mean, the turnaround, you think about not just the turnaround. You got the stadium renovation going on in Nashville. You've got excitement in and around your football team. You're talking playoff. I mean, it's just off a 2-win season. It's staggering how much this program has swung the other way. And you think about how close they are to being an undefeated football team.
We left, they'll play South Carolina next week. We left Williams-Brice last year thinking, wow, this program, where does it go from here? 2-10 record. Well, the answer is to Las Cruces, New Mexico, to find an offensive identity.
Yeah.
And Clark Lee has a 6-3 football team after a 17-7 win at Jordan-Hare Stadium.
Bowl eligible, historic win, special teams battle. Didn't play your best football on offense. Defensively, you found ways to stand up, stop a rushing attack that looked like it was starting to really get rolling, and come away with a victory that something you haven't seen in well over half a century.
Auburn falls to 3-6. They'll host Louisiana Monroe after an open week in 2 weeks here at Jordan-Hare Stadium. And Ashley has the Lee family.
Well, Coach Lee, officially bowl eligible with today's win. What does this mean for you in this program?
Well, it means a lot. And again, it's just one, but obviously, I mean, I'm emotional and so proud of our team. They just continue to impress me with their belief in each other and what we're building here. And obviously to win this one on the road, that's a tough Auburn team. Credit to Hugh and his guys, but we gutted this one out. It went pretty, really proud of our guys.
And to have your little man here and your family and get to celebrate what you're doing at Vanderbilt with them, what does that mean?
It's incredible. This is baby Jack, and he got to come. My wife took my daughter to Taylor Swift last night in Indianapolis. My son has a hockey tournament in Indiana, so he got to make the trip. He was good luck. So it's always fun. This is very personal to me. It's my alma mater. It's my hometown. It's our family's hometown, and we want to keep building something that's the world takes notice of.
Absolutely. So Jack won out. He got to be here with you today, but beating Auburn and Alabama for the first time since 1955 in the same season. To talk about the culture change